Evening, everyone, and welcome to our regular council meeting of March 24th, 2026. It is now 5:30. I call the meeting to order, and I would like to ask the clerk for the roll call, please.
Mayor Sidney.
Present.
Revimo.
Present.
Councillor Legree. Councillor McWhorter.
Present.
Councillor McDonald.
Present.
Councillor Cebulski.
Present.
Councillor Andrew Dick.
Present.
Mayor Sidney, we do have quorum.
Thank you. As we gather, we would like to acknowledge on behalf of council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history, and we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all of the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Can I please have you stand for O Canada? Any declarations of interest? Hearing and seeing none. There's no public meeting, no delegations. On to presentations. It's kind of a special night here tonight, as we're going to recognize a fantastic woman of our community and honor her. So I just want to, I have something I want to read, and then we'll present something. So, good evening, everyone. I would like to take a moment to recognize someone who has made a lasting impact on our community. After 12 years of dedicated services, Gail Laird is retiring from her role as Executive Director of the Renfrew Area Chamber of Commerce. Throughout her tenure, Gail has been a driving force behind the Chamber's success, providing steady leadership through many ups and downs, strong organizational direction, and unwavering support to its Board of Directors. Gail's contributes extend far beyond the Chamber itself. She has become a familiar and trusted presence within our local business community, someone who is well known, highly respected, and deeply valued. Her commitment to foster connections, supporting local businesses, and strengthening our economic community has made her a true cornerstone in Renfrew. On behalf of Council and the entire community, I would like to extend our sincere thanks to Gail for her many years of hard work, dedication, and service. We wish her all the very best in her retirement. Thank you, Gail. We would love for you to come up and receive this small acknowledgement of our appreciation. And before we do that, I just personally, I had the honor of being the president of the Chamber for 2 years and working alongside Gail. It was a pleasure, and we got to tackle COVID together, so that was fun. But you always were a smiling face, and we're definitely going to miss you around here. But if you would please come up here. So it scroll says the Corporation of the Town of Renfrew takes pride in presenting this scroll to Gail Laird. Thank you for your many years of dedicated service to Renfrew Area Chamber of Commerce. Your contributions have played a meaningful role in strengthening and growing the business community in Renfrew and the surrounding area. Signed by Acting CEO Eric Withers and myself. I just want to add one more thank you too, because there's a gentleman that played a big role in the background. His name's Gord, who did a lot of behind the scenes stuff that nobody got to see. So Gord, we recognize you as well, and thank you for all your work. Now, to be fair, you do not have to stay. Okay. You're more than welcome to, but you don't have to. On to announcements. Upcoming events, the NHL Museum at the MyFM Center is currently hosting a draw for Sens tickets to April 9th game between the Ottawa Senators and the Florida Panthers. The deadline to enter is April 7th. No purchase is necessary. Simply visit the museum before the deadline to enter into the draw. Also earlier today, the Renfrew Chamber of Commerce AGM took place this morning at the Renfrew Golf Club. It was a great networking opportunity for Chamber members, highlighted by a keynote presentation from Jennifer Lehman on building a competitive advantage. Thank you to the Chamber for hosting these valuable events. If you are a business in Renfrew or a neighboring municipality, consider reaching out to the Chamber about becoming a member. There are many benefits and is a fantastic resource for local business owners. And I want to thank members of council who did attend that as well. A reminder to residents that municipal elections are taking place this fall for the next term of council. Over the coming months, the town will be sharing information related to the election, including details for both candidates and voters. Be sure to sign up for the town's app and newsletter to follow us on social media to stay informed. On April 23rd and 24th, the town of Renfrew, along with several neighboring municipalities, will be hosting information sessions for individuals interested in running for council. These sessions, titled So You Want to Run for Council, will provide helpful insights to prospective candidates. More information can be found on the town's website, so please check that out. Like many municipalities across Ontario, we are now nearing the point of being almost completely out of road salt due to provincial-wide shortage and a sustained high demand this winter season. In response, we have implemented road prioritization measures focusing on remaining supply on main roads, hills, and key routes to maintain safety. As supplies continue to diminish, we will rely more heavily on sand and other alternatives where needed. Residents may notice reduced service on lower priority roads during this time. We appreciate your patience and understanding over these final days of winter, and I want to sincerely thank our Public Works team for their hard work and commitment to keeping our community safe under these challenging conditions this winter. And that's all. Does anybody else have any? Councilor McWhorter?
Through you, Mayor. I've got a couple, but I promised Councillor Sobolski I'd keep it short, so I will. Golden Age Activity Centre is having an Easter bake sale Thursday, April 2nd. Rash, which is Renfrew Senior Support, is hosting a county dance Sunday, May 24th between 2 and 6 at the Horton Centre in conjunction with Horton Township. They're also doing a shred day on Saturday, May 30th between 9 and 12 if you have anything to shred. And last but not least, the Bonashire Trail Group is looking for enthusiastic volunteers to come out and give us a hand. Anybody who likes to work outside, doesn't mind a little physical work or getting their hands dirty, we're looking for some volunteers to help us out. We're looking to do some more grooming on the trails and move a few things around. We're meeting Thursday, May 7th. It's an evening at 5 p.m. If anybody's looking to volunteer or help out, and if in doubt, contact Amanda Springer at Town Hall. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Hearing none. Moving on to Committee of the Whole. The Renfrew Town Council convened as Committee of the Whole to consider reports for recommendations to Council. Mover, please. Councillor McDonald, seconded by Councillor McWhorter. Any questions? All in favor? We are in Committee of the Whole. Moving on to E1.1. That the Committee of the Whole recommends that Renfrew Town Council direct staff to install an emergency button communication system within the McGrimmon Holdings Fitness Centre in place of the previously selected medical GPS cellular wireless communication station. Mover, please. Councillor McDonald, second by Councillor McWhorter. We are now going to turn it over to Director Fraser.
Thank you, through you, Mayor. So last October, Renfrew Town Council carried a motion to install a medical GPS cellular wireless communication system in the McGrimmon Holdings Fitness Center. So essentially it was a way for the fitness center members to communicate to emergency services if the customer service desk was closed. So that option that was selected is now deemed unreliable due to firmware issues that are not supported in our area. So we are looking to get approval to go to the second option of a mushroom button.
Any questions? Here, Councilor McCorder?
Through you, Mayor, I'm just wondering what the cost might be. Is this part of the budget?
Director Burns?
Thank you. So through you, Mayor, the cost is $548, and it is allocated in our operation budget.
Any other questions? All in favor? That's carried. Thank you, Council. Moving on to Development and Environment. That the Committee of the Whole recommend that Renfrew Town Council adopt OPA number 16 as amended with comments from Algonquins of Ontario, AOO, and that the amending bylaw be brought forward to Council for adoption, and further that staff be directed to forward the adopted OPA number 16 to the County of Renfrew for approval. Mover, please. Councillor McDonald, seconded by Councillor Sobalski. And I will now invite up Forbes Simon from JP2G. Welcome, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor and Council. It's a pleasure to be with you again. As you're aware, we've been through an open house. We've been through a public meeting on the update of your official plan. We've received comments, and the only real comments that we received were from the Algonquins of Ontario. The CAO and myself met with representatives from AOO. I want to extend to you that they were quite complimentary about the changes and updates in the official plan as it related to First Nation interests. They did provide a bit of direction on improving the wording, particularly related to when they get involved with archaeological assessments. And we've tightened up the wording in the amendment to reflect their request. It's highlighted in the document itself as really the only highlighted section. Other than that, I think it's been pretty much as it has been presented to you all the way along. And so it is now in the form of a very dry official plan amendment bylaw document with a lot of whereases and wherefores. And hopefully if council's in agreement, it can move to or committee's in agreement, and it can move to council for final consideration before it then gets sent to Renfrew County for final approval.
Any questions from council? Revimo?
I noticed when I went through this page 27, number 2, 3, 4, and 5, all talks about trees, and I'm just wondering, it talks about us pre-approving a species. Is there a species that we're looking at pre-approving, just so we know more about that? And it's not critical.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I may, we do have a natural vegetation and tree canopy policy that was approved a few years back that does have a species list. But there is also some wordage in there that if someone has a particular species that's not on that list that they'd like to plant, that on a case-by-case basis, the staff can approve that.
Any other questions? Councillor McDonald?
Thank you, Mayor, to you. And I'll just throw this out on the table that I wouldn't mind option 2 at this point in time, which is to postpone it. These are large documents, and I would appreciate more time before voting on it. I currently have some, not concerns, but some questions with regard to various terminologies, and I wouldn't mind meeting with the CAO to talk to them about it. I know we've had it for a bit, and but they are large documents, and I wouldn't mind that. If the floor wants to proceed with it tonight, I'm okay with that also. So.
Yes.
May I suggest there's some time between now and when it comes back to council. Maybe we could take that time to talk and when work through some of your concerns, if that's an option for you.
Clerk?
Through you, Mayor, sorry to answer your question. Right now, there is a motion on the table. Council has the option to defer, to bring it back to committee of the whole at the next meeting for further discussion, or to Mr. Simon's comment is that if it's approved here at committee of the whole tonight, then at the next meeting it'll come back to council for final approval. Further discussion can happen at that time too. So there's the two options.
Councilor McDonald?
Thank you, Mayor, through you. And I wouldn't mind deferring it then to the next one. It's just I'm gone next week, and that takes a week out of the 2-week block for me to make arrangements for conversations. So I'll leave it at that for now.
So, go ahead. Clerk?
Through you, Mayor. So a deferral does not require debate. However, so if you'd like to defer, we can do a mover and seconder, and the item can be deferred. However, if that fails, then the item's on the table for discussion.
You want to move it?
Thank you, Mayor, through you. I'll move it to the motion to have it deferred.
Okay. Seconder? Councilor Andrew Dick. Any questions or comments? All in favor of deferring it? Opposed? That's carried. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Moving on to legislative services. That the committee of the whole recommend that review town council amended bylaw 16/2024 being a bylaw to appoint directors to the downtown Renfrew Business Improvement Area Board of Management to 1 Jen Laverne from the Board of Management, and 2 appoint Kinsey Maxwell as a member of the Board of Management, and further that the amending bylaw be brought forward to council for adoption. Mover, please. Councilor McDonald, seconded by Revimo. Turn it over to the clerk.
Sorry, bear with me. My system decided this exact moment to not work with me. Thank you for your patience. Through you, Mayor. Kind of as the motion states, we are looking for council to amend the appointment bylaw for the downtown Renfrew Business Improvement Area. There has been a member who submitted their resignation back in December. The board has moved forward through their AGM with an expression of interest and has received the expression of interest from Kinsey Maxwell. So we're looking to amend the bylaw to represent that change. I will note we have basically been notified just recently of this change and the resignation. And again, this is just a governance cleanup and making sure that everything kind of checks and balances and that the appointment of the board is accurate.
Great. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I think Kinsey would be a great addition. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you, council. Moving on to E8, that Renfrew Town Council rise from committee of the whole. Mover, please. Councilor McDonald, second by Councilor Andrew Dick. Any questions? All in favor? We are now out of committee of the whole. Moving on to external boards and committees. Downtown Renfrew BIA minutes, February 9th, 2026. Councilor McDonald, do you want to say anything about the minutes?
Thank you. The report is straightforward. We had the AGM previously to this meeting, and we're looking forward to the new member coming on board. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Councilor McDonald? All right, moving on to County of Renfrew, EORN monthly update. Revimo.
Thank you, Your Worship. Through you, just to report there are the only tower coming online that's of any significance or has impact for us is likely the one at Durley Creek and Highway 41, which is the corridor. And then there are a couple in the Mount St. Patrick area, but for the most part, they're in the towers coming on stream this year are up in the western part of our county, mostly Chalk River, and one in Petawawa.
Perfect. Any questions for review? All right, moving on to items for consideration and support. The Renfrew Town Council, in response to the Renfrew Area Seniors Home Support Request, approve a fee waive of $90 plus tax for the Visitor Information Center on Saturday, May 30th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and further that the money be allocated from the grants to organizations budget. Mover, please. Councillor McWhirter, second by Councillor McDonald. Any discussion on this? Anybody? Good? All in favor? Carried. Correspondence for information. Is there anything on here that, for information purposes, council would like to discuss? It's just for information. All right. Revimo.
Yes, I'd like to see us support the correspondence from the town of Whitby regarding the review of the provincial municipal fiscal framework. We've been talking for quite some time here about the need for the province to reconfigure their financial relationship with municipalities. The constant Hunger Games approach to applying for grants isn't working. It doesn't recognize growth. It doesn't recognize the challenges, especially of smaller municipalities. It also is. It doesn't recognize the need for us to develop our road network. Our road networks are our public transit. It's not a streetcar. It's not a subway car. It's a chunk of black asphalt with a yellow line down the middle for the most part. And so we have quite different needs. The funding arrangements have been trapped in the probably 1980s model for a long time, and as such, there is a recognition this fiscal relationship has to be reviewed. I'll bring to your attention the number of $5.6 billion, which is recovered by the province from the transfer fee when you sell a home. It's exceeded their expectations by about $2 billion, and that was in 2021 dollars. I don't believe we have current numbers at this time. So just quickly, those are the areas I think of concern, and I think we have to keep hitting on them on a regular basis, and I would encourage that we support the town of Whitby.
Thank you. We can get a letter. Okay, perfect.
We'll need a motion for that.
Motion for that.
So if I'm understanding correctly, that the motion would be that Renfrew Town Council endorse Town of Whitby's request for a review of the provincial municipal fiscal framework and direct the mayor to provide a letter of support noting the town's concerns.
Moved by Revimo, second by Councillor Sobalski. Any further discussion? All in favor? That's carried. Thank you, Council. Moving on to resolutions. Matters arising from Committee of the Whole. The Renfrew Town Council adopt the final resolutions considered in Committee of the Whole on March 10th, 2026. Number 1, that Renfrew Town Council approve the suggested amendments to the length of service recognition policy and further that the appropriate bylaw be brought forward for adoption. Number 2, that Renfrew Town Council approve the suggested amendments to the use of corporate vehicle policy and further that the appropriate bylaw be brought forward for adoption. Number 3, that Renfrew Town Council approve the additional proposed recommendations to the town sign bylaw and further that the bylaw be brought forward for adoption. Number 4, that Renfrew Town Council adopt the 2026 corporate work plan as presented. Number 5, that the Renfrew Town Council adopt the revised electronic monitoring of employee policy and further that the revised bylaw be brought forward for adoption. And number 6, that Renfrew Town Council accept the proposed revisions to the Employee Code of Conduct and further that the revised bylaw be brought forward for adoption. And lastly, number 7, that Renfrew Town Council adopt the revised right to disconnect policy and further that the revised bylaw be brought forward for adoption. Mover, please. Councillor McWhirter, second by Revimo. Any discussion on any of these items? Hearing none, all in favor? That's carried. Oh, sorry, did I miss one? Oh, sorry, missed that. Totally missed that. My apologies. The next one is the Renfrew Town Council confirm the minutes of the regular meeting of council dated March 10th, 2026. Mover, please. Councillor McWhorter, seconded by Councillor Andrew Dick. Any questions, comments? All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. There's no matters arising direct from committee at all. Moving on to bylaws. That the bylaws listed on the agenda of March 24th, 2026 be read a first, second, and third time and passed. 2026-19, execute transfer payment agreement, MHIP, HSWS, 2026-20, length of service recognition policy, 26-21, use of corporate vehicle policy, 26-22, sign bylaw, 26-23, electronic monitoring of employee policy, 26-24, employee code of conduct policy, and 2026-25, right to disconnect. Mover, please. Review, second by Councillor Andrew Dick. Any further discussion on this? All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Motion of which notice has previously been given. One here from Councillor Sobolski. Whereas the corporation of the town of Renfrew is currently undertaking a Neptune water meter replacement program, and whereas council requires timely and accurate information to evaluate the effectiveness of the program and to inform consideration of any potential future phases, therefore be resolved that Renfrew Town Council directs staff to provide an interim report on the Neptune water meter replacement program at a 1-year mark and final after action report upon completion of the program, and further that staff be directed to A, monitor the report on changes in water consumption following the installation of new meters, including quarterly comparisons to historical usage. B, assess and report on whether the revenue projections provided by Neptune are being achieved during and following the program. And C, track and analyze and report quarterly on consumer water billing complaints and disputes related to the meter readings, and final summary upon completion of the program. Mover, please. Councillor Sobolski, seconded by Councillor McDonald. Councillor Sobolski, do you want to add anything to that? Yep.
Sure. Thank you. Through you, Mayor. Sorry. This is, in my opinion, just good housekeeping. I think it's the final verbiage towards what we've been working on, which we've talked about water here lots. But full compliments go to Mr. Rizicki, who lent us a ton of experience from the utilities, and Councillor McDonald has put a lot of time into this. So my name's attached to it as well as I put some time into it. But I believe it's just good housekeeping on such a big matter like this for us to have follow-up reports coming to us. So, thank you.
Any questions on this? All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. M2, that Renfrew Town Council directs staff to investigate the feasibility, design, consideration, estimated cost on developing a public dock or landing area for paddleboards, kayaks, and canoe access at the lower section of the Bonnechere River below the dam, with the intent of establishing a direct connection to the Bonnechere River Trail, and that staff report back with options, including potential locations, environmental considerations, accessibility features, and estimated capital and operating costs. And further, that staff explore opportunities for partnerships with private sector entities, community organizations, and other stakeholders to support the development, funding, and long-term maintenance of this amenity, and include any findings in the report back to Council. Mover, please. Councillor McDonald, seconded by Councillor McWhorter. Councillor McDonald, would you like to add?
Thank you, Mayor, through you. The background to this motion is Councillor McWhorter and myself are part of the Bonnechere Trail Working Group, and we met last week as spring starts to unfold here. And it's to tie it in, it fits in with the 2024 Parks and Recreation Master Plan, also the Waterfront Master Plan. And it's to tie in and to give options to the public if they're with water adventures in terms of making their way down to the Bonnechere Trail. Manager Springer has some good vision for what she wants to do down there, and it'll be hopefully a tourist attraction too for people to come in and enjoy our the waterfront. So that's the part behind it. Obviously looking towards maybe partnerships with people to come in, but I think this is the first step in trying to establish something down there. So thank you.
Thank you. I think it's a great idea. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Any other notices of motion? Hearing and seeing none. There's no closed confirmatory bylaw. The Renfrew Town Council adopt the confirmatory bylaw of 2026 and that it be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. Mover, please. Revimo, second by Councillor Sobolski. Any questions? All in favor? That's carried. Upcoming meetings of Council, Economic Development Advisory Committee, April 14th, 2026 at 10 a.m. Regular Council meeting of April 14th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. And we are adjourned at 6:01. Thank you, Council.